So continuing on our journey through the token tanks, and just a friendly reminder, we are now going to be talking about the Lorraine 50t. Now, this is one of the tanks that I actually have in my garage because this is the one that I bought from the token store. But that definitely doesn't mean that you should go ahead and buy it because I have bought pretty much all the tanks that are in the store. Most of them are just in recovery. But either way, let's go ahead and take a look at the stats and then we'll go into some gameplay a bit later on. So here we are in tanks.gg with the base values for everything. This means that it is not affected by crew or consumables or equipment or anything like that. This is what the base values for all the stuff on this tank is. Straight away, DPM is even worse than the 777. I didn't know that was physically possible, but here we are. And then this equates to a 400 alpha damage gun, 264 standard pen, which is really, really good. And then with the premium pen, you get 308 APCR, which is not so good, but manageable. That's still fine. And then also with the HE rounds, you have 65 pen with 515 alpha. That's a very, very big increase, much more than the 90 increase from what the 777 had. The reload time, however, though, is 14 seconds for that 400 alpha, which is not good. And that means that you have a 4.29 rate of fire. Dispersion is very, very good, though, at 0.33. That is very, very accurate, among the best, actually, because even something like a Super Conqueror right here has 0.33 as well, which means that this Lorraine 50t is extremely accurate. And the dispersion factors are not so great, but with a stab, this is more than good enough. The shell velocity is 1067 for the standard rounds, and then the premium rounds is 1333, or 334, sorry. Now, this is very, very good for a premium round, and it is one of those things where because it's AP and an APCR, if you do have the credits, you're just better off firing the APCR. But both of them are usable because standard rounds are good pen as well, and they don't go super slow, so 50-50 loadout, you're good. And you actually can do a 50-50 loadout because this thing gets 55 ammo capacity. It has a 60 km/h top speed, although the effective terrain resistances aren't good enough to maintain that 60, so you're never reaching that unless you do some equipment and stuff like that. This means that you get 53 on hard and 47 on medium. This is quite a big disparity between the two. And one of the reasons why the first field mod that I'm going to be speaking about in a second will be the left-hand side. And we're going to forgo hardening on this tank. Because you're just a little bit too slow without it. And really, you want to... This whole tank's idea is to be fast, get into position, go hold down, and be annoying. And speaking about being hold down, you do have 10 degrees of gun depression and 15 of gun elevation, which means that you can go hold down and be very annoying. Especially considering the armor is very good as well. But we'll move on to that in a second. The health of this tank is 1750, which doesn't make sense in the slightest considering this is the same health as a Charfuture 4. I don't know why. It does weigh 57 tons for max load, and the total weight when it's just like this and not having anything on it is 55 tons. So not only are you going at very, very high speeds, you also weigh 55 tons to just smash into someone. And again, you have 380 meters view range, which is neither good or bad. It's just kind of meh. It's in the middle. Now, speaking about the armor layout quickly before we go into the rest of the stats and set up the tank, as you will see, this is pretty damn good. There are a few weak spots though, but the weak spots are not super obvious and shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now, either side of the gun manlet, you are not getting penned. However, above it, you might get penned right here. As you can see, where it starts to go green with the amount of pen needed, and then underneath as well, you'll get penned. Below the turret and all around the turret is also a green pen marker. However, people are going to have to try and hit that, and at range, that's probably not going to happen. I'm not saying it won't happen, but it's unlikely. And also just below where the turret ring is as well, you'll be able to shoot there. The hull is useless. Completely useless. You have complete paper for armor on the hull armor. So just ignore that. You're going to get... If you are in the open, assume you're going to take damage because you are having no armor to stop this from going through. Even though that it has a piked nose design, it is not effective enough or thick enough to actually help you out. And another thing to note is that you cannot side scrape in this tank. Why? Because it's 30 millimeters thick on the side. And that means you're getting overmatched by anything greater than a 90 caliber gun instantly. Yep. Pretty fun. So, no, the hull armor is completely useless. Ignore it. You might as well not have hull armor for how weak it is. But when you are hold down, and if you do manage to use all your gun depression as well, you're in a very, very good situation with this tank. And it actually surprised me how good the turret is. This is better than the tier 10 M454 turret, in my opinion. Now, if they do fire premium at you, it's not really any better or worse because, yeah, you still have a lot of armor when you're completely hull down. If you're not hull down, however, you are considerably weaker and those weak spots will emerge again, but you're going to need quite a bit of pen to go through them if you want to go through the mantlet, around about 300-ish, and then around here, yes, if they get lucky, again, same story as the AP. Now, if we go ahead and activate effective values and then put all the crew skills on, ignoring camo because this is a heavy tank, we are not putting camo on this tank, and then we go ahead and put food on the tank, and then what we're going to do is the field mods first, and then we're going to add the equipment afterwards, just to show you how the field mods affect the tank. So right now, without doing anything, we have 1900 DPM, 0.3 dispersion. The dispersion factors are not great for the gun handling, and we go at 59 km/h top speed on hard, and 54, nearly 55 on medium. So it's honestly not too bad for this, but if we go ahead and use the first field mod on the left-hand side, we then go to 60 on hard and 58 on medium, making this more than good enough to actually get around the places. This is very, very nice because in combination with what you would have here with the off-road driving, this then buffs up those terrain distances to being that you're pretty much going at top speed across all terrain types apart from swamp. For next field mod, you obviously want to pick the circle size to get that down as low as possible. And then for the fifth one, pick the right-hand side for the free view range benefit that you'll get. And then for the last one, 2 km/h in reverse to boost up that reverse speed. The reverse speed boost is actually quite important because you only go at 15 km/h backwards. And considering you go at 60 forwards, 15 is going to feel very slow. And then moving on to the equipment, we want to have turbo. This means that we now go at 65 km/h top speed, and in reverse, we're actually going at 20, which is very, very good. And our top speeds for both hard and medium have now matched each other at 65, meaning that we are at top speed no matter what. And we even go 40 in the swamp, which is actually not bad at all. Track health has suffered for this, obviously, but it's a trade-off that you're going to have to make with this field mod and then having turbo to really make this speed very, very good. Next, you obviously want rammer because you have no DPM otherwise, literally 0. And then that still brings the reload time down to 11 seconds for 400 alpha, which is comically bad. And last but not least, you want to have stab because, well, yes, get that dispersion value down. And with all of that combined, you then have a tank that has, unfortunately, no DPM, but is very, very rapid, is very good hold down, and has a gun that works. Although, it won't be firing for that many times. Now, for the crew perks on the Lorraine 50t, obviously you want brothers in arms, and obviously you want repairs. This is a heavy tank. It is going to be getting shot at, and you are going to need repairs. And you're going to need repairs on every tank in the game, but repairs is of the utmost importance on heavy tanks especially. For the commander, recon, emergency, mental, and coordination, because that aim time is not that great, and we need to bring it down a little bit. For the gunner, snapshot, deadeye, armorer, and quick aiming. Again, bringing that aim time down. We then have deadeye for this, where we can actually go for, shooting the modules of different vehicles. I wouldn't pick the other two. They're pretty useless on this tank. For the driver, off-road driving, as we've already mentioned, you want controlled impact, and you definitely want smooth ride. And then for the last one, I would probably pick engineer, purely just because it makes it go faster. Just because this is already an absolutely rapid tank, we can make it go even faster. I'm just going to pick it. The other option would be clutch braking because nobody's choosing reliable placement. For the loader, safe sewage, intuition, perfect charge, and ammo tuning. For the bonus perks on the radio operator, we have situation awareness, firefighting, and then it's a choice of 2. Depending on who you are, you might want to choose side by side, and I'm going to be choosing signal interception. Because this one is just a nice to have feature. It improves your spotting time a lot better. And as you can see here, we nearly have a second off what the spotting time would be, especially in something like this where you're not always going to be surrounded by heavy tanks. You might go off to the medium tank flank, for example, on this vehicle because you're more than fast enough. And then this kind of thing is pretty irrelevant. It's useless because you're never going to get to use it. Whereas with this, at least it's there and at least you then get notified, especially if you are a medium tank flank and you are, say, in a precarious situation where you kind of want to know if you're going to get spotted or not. And now that we have fully maxed this out with all the crew skills and perks, as you can see here, we have 268 standard pen, 405 average damage, 0.28 accuracy, which is insanely good. The aim time has gone down to 2.7, but if we are using situationally, then this is going to be 2.27 aim time once we do spot someone, for example. We have 1.8k hit points because of the field mods, and our view range is 441 meters, but we go at 66 kilometers an hour and 21 in reverse with 18 pound to weight. This thing is absolutely rapid. And now you join me on Oyster Bay. Now this map is actually not too bad for this tank because you can rush into position like we have done here, then go hold down and just wait for an enemy to present itself to you. Usually people would like to come along here then fight. However, in this scenario, with this matchup, we actually only have 2 heavy tanks on each team, which is a little bit unusual, to be honest. We know that there's quite a few tanks over to the right and to the left, but no one has come this way so far. So me and the Charger's waiting here. And this is the type of scenario you want to get yourself into with the Lorraine 50t. We can get into position, you go hold down, and you just wait. Sometimes waiting is much, much better than trying to push the aggression and doing something. Because when you do that, you then start to have all kinds of situations where you then just get caught out. However, we do have a 257 that went down this way. And considering the only other tank that is a heavy tank is a Carnarvon, I should actually have been a little bit more proactive with this and realised this. I mean, I was streaming, I don't know how long I've been streaming for at this point, but this game I think was towards the end of it. But this was a bit weird from the 257, and then we have the AC-48 as well. But we see that pushing up, and we know that we can easily fight this, and we can put one or two into him without too many issues. I wanted to try and track him there, because that way at least then maybe my Char can come and help. The Char is coming to help, which is very, very good. We already know that we could get shot from the left-hand side, however, if nobody's been shooting us so far, it's probably not going to happen. So make sure we get a few shots into this guy, aim for him again, try and finish him off, aim for the cupola. Lovely. Never really any problems with that. It's a pretty easy shot. Now the 257 is our next issue because I don't really know what this 257 is doing. But him being in the middle is a little bit worrying because it doesn't... If someone goes here, they're usually not a great player. And that can mean 2 things. It either means that you're going to get YOLO'd by them at some point, or they'll just sit there for eternity. Like, there's hardly ever an in-between with this. It is either one extreme or the other. But I wanted to push up. I can't push up too far because I was just spotted, and everybody at the back over there would be able to shoot me if I did just go forwards. So we waited until we were unspotted, we then push forwards, and we have the Char with us. We can then go and see who is over here. It's a very strange game that is happening right here. The CS52 Liss is here, and the 257 is now rushing. Remember I said there's no in-between. There's just no in-between. But he is pushing all the way up into a Charger 4 and a Lorraine 50t. Yeah. I mean, now he's realised his mistake and he's backing off. I mean, at least he realised it. But he's going to be thoroughly punished for this. And I can just back off here, go hold down. He's going to struggle to pen me, especially if he's firing standard rounds. And there you go. Bounces off of that. We hold the shot, make sure we have a shot there ready, and then we put it in as and when we can. It was a bit of a chancy shot, I'd admit, but not rushing the shot is very important. Like for this one, for example, I could have just quickly snapped at a lower plate, but we need to wait, take our time, make sure. Listen, I don't know what he's doing, okay? I don't know. I was basically fed that 257 for free. But I can't obviously peek over to see the Geese or the Cobra or anyone else because of the tank destroyers or anything. Well, not the tank destroyers. There's only one TD in this game that is still alive. But all the medium tanks are at the back at E2. Charger 4's there. I already know that. I don't care about him too much. I'll let him deal with that. You know, if he wants to rush me, fine. I'm just going to wait here. He shouldn't rush, but just in case. I asked the Char to come and help me in case he does rush. I have no idea if the Char's on reload. But we're just going to wait here, see if he pushes. If he doesn't seem to be pushing, then we can actually go and deal with the G-Saw and other people over that side. Because remember, once we clear out this side where the G-Saw is, we can then open up the Panther 2 and Cobra to push through. Now, we know that they were last spotted around here, and I'm sure he enjoyed his time playing World of Tanks. I don't actually know what that ST-66 is. That looks like a super test tank because I have never seen that before in my life. Yeah, that looks very weird. But we're going to put one more into the G-Saw. Wait, make sure that, you know... You'll do a lot of waiting in this tank between reloads. You just see how horrific the DPM is. If I was in pretty much any other tank right now, I would have had more damage. Just purely because I could do more. I would have been a bit more proactive with what I was doing, but because I know that I don't have the DPM on this vehicle, you have to play it a little bit safe. Is the Char still here? He is. Okay, put one into him. We low roll, but that's fine. We weren't going to finish him off in one shot regardless anyway, unless we did high roll massively. And now we're just going to be approaching this, try and take out the Char, looking at the minimap as well, for if the Carnarvon is around, because we still don't know where this Carnarvon is. He hasn't been spotted yet. He is yet to be spotted this whole time during the game. And the Char, wait for it, we're faster than the Char to get the shot off, as he was too slow. Or maybe he was reloading, I don't know. I doubt he'll be reloading, because he would have only fired 2 at me, but okay, whatever. Either way, we're faster than the Char, and the Carnarvon is over here. I don't know. Listen, there's sometimes that I just don't have words to describe what the enemy team does, or what my team does for that matter, or even what I do sometimes. But, yeah, this enemy team was shocking how they deployed, especially over our side of the map, because they did not even try and fight or do anything. We had a 257 in the middle of the map. We had a Carnarvon camping behind tank destroyers. But even the Borsig went faster. We're currently at 5 kills, and we're heading for artillery though. So hopefully we load the HE round. We can then go ahead and kill him, and then we'll get our top gun, and life will be very, very good. But where is Mr. Artillery? We know he's over here somewhere. As I said, there's no explaining some of the stuff that goes on in my games, but please just permaban in more gaming. So for that game we get 3,961 damage and 5 kills. It should have been more and it should have been 6 kills, but thanks Artillery. Top on damage for our team, and we fired 15, hit 14, pen 13. Beautiful. Also, do you like this garage that I just installed? Because I actually had this mod downloaded and then I forgot to keep changing the garage. So yes, the old garage from 2012 or whenever it is. Oh, it brings me back. I love this garage so much. It's in Aslan's mod pack if you want to download it, so you can go ahead and find it for yourself. But this tank is really kind of annoying because it's so nice to play, but the DPM really does bring it back down. And I feel like for most people, this is not a good option. It has a pretty high skill cap, and for most players, they're not going to be able to deal with the no hull armor, the gun being very, very lackluster in regards to DPM, because when you do get in a head-on fight with someone, which, let's be honest, if you're going to be playing as a medium tank sometimes, it happens quite a lot, and everything is just going to out-DPM you. This tank really, really shines when it can go hull down, and it's in position before anyone else, and then you can start farming people. Slowly, but farming people. All the ammo types are good, all of them are usable, it's really nice in that regard, and it does come with the standard large repair kit, which is better than a large repair kit normally, but they're completely free. So I will say this isn't for everyone, and you should definitely know what you're getting yourself into if you do buy one of these things, because it can be quite a shock, especially if you're used to something being a heavy tank and having armor. The other thing is that it does cost 20 tokens, so it is quite expensive in regards to what you could have got for 12. Remember, this is 8 tokens more than what would be a Char Feature 4 or an Object 777, and with that you can nearly go ahead and buy another tank for that. But the closest comparator to this tank is the BZ58-2, which, if you're watching this right now, there'll be a video tomorrow, but if you're not watching this right now as it goes out, you can watch the video right now.